Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I'm your humble host, Mr. David Null, also known as Hawkeye Two Feathers, and I greet you with love and the honor of the infinite creator. And I continue to pray each and every day that each and every one of you will continue to learn how to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the blessings from the universe. And so, this particular subject had been on my mind for a while. And several things just every day, like, yeah, there's that word again, loneliness. Now, I'm suffered with loneliness and so forth long time, GI, and I have overcome most of it, by accepting it. Hey, Barry. um so this is going to be a short video because I'm going to do a video later on with Milky Way Soul Tribe, and it's another edition of stories, Native American stories. So, but I this was really on my mind, and I really wanted to get this point across. I suffered with loneliness for a while. I mean, I'm much better these last few years, but what's the difference? So, what is different in me than So one of the things was simply to accept that I'm a part of the universe, always. And the universe is always around me. And I know that this sounds oversimplified, but it's as simple as that. Now, you can make it complicated and hey, Travis, how are you? You can make it complicated and try to explain, well, the pores and the quantum mechanics and not, and the, okay, if you want to learn about it that way, absolutely go ahead. But here's the thing, just realize none of us are alone. No matter where we are on the planet, no matter what's going on, we're never alone because we're a part of the universe. Now, I know that doesn't help when you're missing a son or a granddaughter or a loved one or something like that. I get it. And those folks who have been very close to us are the ones that we have more issues with feeling lonely because we miss them. Nothing wrong with that. But here's the thing, if missing someone results in your crying or being depressed or whatever, you should stop. I had to do this, you see. So, and my advice to you is to stop thinking that way. Think of the joy. Find something. Well, I miss him. We used to go to the movies. Okay, then laugh about, man, the times we used to go to the movies, and be upbeat about it. Well, I miss it. Well, of course, I missed my friend Marcia, who passed away this last February. Of course, I miss her and what we were going to do and what we had once a month we'd go to the movies or something. I mean, so yes, I miss it, but I can't pine over it because it ain't going to do me no good. And she's already passed. So, and I don't mean any disrespect to anyone, but to remember someone with sadness, I don't think is what we really need to do in the universe. We need to remember people with gladness, that they were in our lives, that, hey, Teresa, that, hey, Jody, did I miss anybody? Elderberry, hi. So we are the family of one, comma, with the universe. We are the family. We call it the soul tribe. I've been talking about, we are all members of the League of Like-Minded Beings. No matter where you are, we're still together. Okay, we're together in spirit. We're together in our minds. We are, a lot of us are together with our hearts, and that absolutely means something. So for folks who are lonely and don't have anybody, listen. Look, there are a lot of people who, they tolerate me, right? Family members, they tolerate me, all right. And I try to not, talk about stuff that will upset the mail cart or the apple cart. Hey, Witch Moon, love you all too. So here's the thing, at the end of this year, which is we're pushing it, right? I'm collecting what I've learned over, previous years, but basically this last year, my trip to, with my sister, up to Ohio and meeting my other brothers and sisters for the first time and having communion and sitting down and eating and celebrating and, um, uh, and that's just one, but, also finding out that I've lost loved ones and folks, so, at the same time, it's a bittersweet kind of thing. But when I clock it all up and chalk it all up or add it all up or tally it up or whatever, it's still been okay, you know, because the people that have passed, at least I had the time that I could spend with them. And I have memories that I can share with those friends that have passed. This past year, I know that we've had dear friends that passed the year before, and so, but I'm just talking about this year, this year. And so it's like, okay, so let's sum it up. How bad off are we? Well, I'm better off than I was last year. Why? Because my attitude's better. That despite what comes my way or our way, despite the loss of people and friends, despite, aches and pains and whatever, despite it all, we are still here. Not just me, but we are still here. And that's a plus. I mean, when folks at my age at 69 and a quarter, I upped it from an eighth. Uh, but anyway, I didn't want to push it, but anyway, my running joke. Okay, it's only for my benefit, but y'all can laugh too. But anyway, so, but after all this time, it's like, and I know folks are lonely. There are times when it's like, man, it's me and Duggar, but sure wish I could go do something. My truck is still broke, by the way, but it's okay. And I was depressed about my truck not running. It's like, but maybe I'm not supposed to go anywhere. I am a hermit down here at the Little Ocklackney River Hermitage, by the way. So, and I am a shaman in training. Okay, well, those are my choices, right? But there are people who are isolated that it ain't their choice. Now, if my truck was running, I would go somewhere, right? But I really don't know where I'd go, but I would go somewhere, right? So, but anyway, but it not running, it's like, well, maybe I ain't supposed to be going anywhere right now. Not necessarily because it's dangerous or anything. Maybe I'm just supposed to contemplate stuff, right? There's something I need to, you know, not be worried about going here and there for. There's stuff here I need to do, right? Which that's a God's honest truth. But so it sounds oversimplified, but we create our own loneliness. Well, I miss this person. Okay. But then that missing this person, it goes to the heart. I get it. I understand, but here's the thing. In this next year coming up, what if everyone was to learn how to take care of those things? I still remember my friend Marcia, but I don't cry about it. Now, there are times that I remember certain things and I will choke up. I ain't going to lie to you. But at the same time, I'd much rather, talk about the things the fun, many, many, many fun things we did over 40 years. I mean, oh my God, right? My friend Serge, all the places in the swamp that we went and all the places that no one else would go kind of thing in swamps and rivers and stuff. And it was enjoyable. I missed that. Okay. But at the same time, there ain't nothing I can do about it. But I can still go to the river in his honor. I can still go do things in honor of my friend Marcia. I really want a pizza bad. So and that's something that me and Marcia used to do was at least once a month I'd buy pizza, and we'd sit down and eat pizza. Veggie lovers with extra cheese and pineapple. But anyway, so it isn't about that, but loneliness can set in when we miss people. The older you get, like for myself at 68, I'm six. What? I lost a year. No, 69 and a quarter. But that if we have faith in the universe, if you just simply understand, I'm really not alone. All of these other people here in the chat and we share and everything, none of us are alone anymore. I mean, I know that you all, because we've talked about this before, and this is sort of a little bit of a booster backup kind of thing. And with Christmas and all and stuff and everything, people are going to have a tendency to want to feel lonely some more. Okay. So let's nip this puppy in the bud, nip it in the bud. And we could have a bud, I think that was one of the reasons why I got on here at the time I did. We passed that, didn't we? So, oh, it's 6:21. It's close enough. So let's do hey family, how are you? Okie, Elderberry, Dunny, Witch Moon, uh, Michelle, have Teresa. Have I missed anybody? But I love you all. I do. And you enrich my lives in many ways. Okay. And folks will call or text or send me a message. Like for me, it's like out of the blue, right? Right, Michelle? Nip it, nip in the bud. Right. There you go. But new lighter. Ooh, that was a good one. I'm supposed to be reading stories for later on. And since y'all are here at 10 o'clock, I'm going to do 9 o'clock Central. I'm on with Milky Way Soul Tribe with Robert V and going to do another session of stories and other information. So y'all hang out. But I'm sitting here getting ready and this has been on my mind. And they were like, listen, do this early, just a little short, it's almost 15 minutes, but um, that, my observations as quote, a watchman, it's like, and every season we go into this, okay? Every season we slide into this, you know, um, thing, because of the holidays and what people remembered and how we grew up and stuff. And, I do miss some of those things from the old days with the holidays and stuff. Uh, but I learned long ago that it's nothing to pine about. Now, there are people who go, well, you don't put up a Christmas tree. You're right. I don't. Well, why? Because I'm by myself. That's why. And I've got trees that I bought as Christmas trees over the years that are 30 feet tall. Okay, 25. And they're all over the place. I have Christmas trees all over my yard. Why would I want to cut one down and decorate it up with some kind of gaudy something? That's how I look at it. But now, if I had a family, if I had grandchildren and stuff, I would buy or go out in the yard and dig up a live tree, then transplant it after Christmas, which is what I used to do instead of cut one, and plastic one. Then don't even bother, because there's the smell of the tree in the house. So, but that's one of the things I miss about Christmas, right? Is that smell of the tree. But I got trees all around my yard. So I really, don't see the point for just for myself. Okay. Why? Well, because when I look at a Christmas tree, here's something interesting. It's not that I'm being Scroogish. It's that if I had a Christmas tree, it would want the flashing lights and the colors and everything would want to put my brain into, wow, I sure miss the old days. Nostalgia comes out. And now I ain't got nobody to share that nostalgia with. So what does that do? Because I stick with the loneliness part. I'm lonely. I've got a tree, and I look at it, and I'm wishing that I'm wishing at this, and I'm wishing at friends, and I wish, And so what does that do to us? Most of us go into a depression. And so it's like for me, I for myself, I'll just go outside and go pet one of my Christmas trees that I've transplanted in the yard. And because I did that, I have all these tiny little Christmas trees growing all over the property. One's right up there by the driveway. I mean, as you come in, there's this big tree. Looks like a Christmas tree. And I thought about maybe decorating it a little bit. But as far as like bringing it into the house or whatever, it's just me and Duggar. It just getting away. It doesn't mean that that I'm poo pooing Christmas or trees or that kind of stuff. I poo poo the commercialization of it. But other than that, there were things about Christmas time and cold weather. Now, we don't get snow down here, but I remember a Christmas in Ohio where the snow was piled up in Dayton and, and sledding and skating and walking to school in the snow. I remember that before we moved to Florida. But so I get it. The Winter Wonderland. I went to with a good friend of mine over the years, Charles. His uh, home was around Peoria, Illinois, and so we went up there one year around Christmas time, and it was being in the snow around Christmas time, and we went to Chicago and all this other kind of stuff. So I have experienced some of that short term, but still have actually walked in the snow around Christmas in a big city, right? So, but this idea though that folks are going to have a tendency to want to go into this nostalgic period. And I would warn you and others, and if you know of somebody, hey Richard, how you doing? Doing as well as possible under the circumstances, right? So a lot of folks are worried about what's coming up next year or next week or next month, right? I mean, forget the whole year, right? And I got to say that the other day, supposedly there was a bunch of cosmic energy come in and all this kind of stuff. But I got to say, since Saturday or something, something is different. And I can't put a finger on it. And it could just be me. But something just feels different in the universe. Not bad, just different. So, what are we going to have to learn how to do in the future? We're going to have to learn how to adapt, period. Well, there's some strange energy. I feel kind of weird today. Just calm down. It could be, honestly, cosmic energies. But to the point of, well, I wonder what it is. I better find out what it is. Well, maybe you should just accept that no matter what we want to do, if we're already feeling it, it's too late. Okay. If you're feeling it, whoops, now, if we're feeling it, now we just got to deal with it. You know, that's the simple part without being frustrated or, whatever. If we just need to take control of this. And I think over these last 2 years, a lot of people have taken, hey, Steve, how are you? Have taken back some of their lives. Hey, Mel, how are you? It's good to see you all here. So I can't stay long. I'm picking out stories for tonight on Milky Way Soul Tribe, but I do want to get on here and earlier and be able to say hi to all y'all. And I'm going to try to. I almost did a live video outside today, but it's misty, rain, and you're out there for about a minute, and you're not really soaked, but you're wet. So, but the oversimplification. And you hear me say the prayer every time I do a video. You might not be there at the end, but I say it. I continue to pray each and every day. And I do. Me and Duggar go outside and I put my hands up in the air and I just, creator smile down on all these folks, especially those folks who are, are trying to understand, but all folks, but my soul tribe family members and your names go by like somebody was flipping through a Rolodex. Anybody remember them? But anyway, so it's like a kaleidoscope, and the names flip by, and some names will pop out one day or not another. But anyway, but to the universe, um, it's important. And so, regardless of whether anybody feels it or senses my prayer to them or to the universe or whatever, I'm still going to do my part. I realize, and it took a lot of faith. I talked about it one of my recent videos, in that I said, I myself was about 98.8% there as far as what I thought I understood, and I had faith in the universe and stuff. And I realized that I didn't really, because I still had a little bit of hesitation. But when I crossed that threshold of hesitation about, am I really a true? Well, yeah, I believe I'm a part of this. Yeah, do you believe your spirit is part of you? Yes. Well, do you believe it? Well, yeah. Well, okay, but there was something just hesitating, right? And when I said, "Y'all got me. You got me 100%. I'm with it. I'm not going to have any doubts anymore in myself." Now, I still doubt myself, but I mean, as far as believing in the universe, you know, it ain't about a God. It's not about worship. It's just believing. Or do you believe you're part of the universe? Ask that question to yourself. And if the answer is yes, then that's it. It seems a little bit more complicated, but life makes it more complicated. That's why we're here, to learn. Now, sometimes life is a big bitch. Dinosaur poop on all of us. It's like Godzilla has run through our lives and messed everything up. And the fear mongers and the thing and the stuff. And yeah, okay. It's still there. Although, this last month we were supposed to die 2 or 3 times on a cosmic level or whatever, we're still here. Okay. So we have to take things with a grain of salt. But I gotta say, this last eclipse or whatever energies were supposed to come in or something, I gotta say, since Sunday, things have just been different. Like I said, I can't measure it. It's not bad, but it is different. So, but yeah, Duggar's still here. Yeah, Duggar's a good dog. Yeah, he's sitting over on the couch right now. But we were outside earlier, and he does not like the rain or the wet. He is a cat. It's another name for a cat. Starts with a P and ends with USSY. He is a pussy when it comes to mud puddles but now if he's chasing something, if something's got his eye, he's through it. He don't even think about it. But if we're walking or something back in the back and if it's wet, he ain't going through it. Don't care if it's like this thick, he ain't going in it. So the ground's been wet today and he goes outside and kind of looks and goes, nah, come back in the house. I'm like, come on, go outside with me. Nah, hey, SB, how are you? Something is definitely in the air. Okay. But see, now to that question and an answer, does it feel bad to you? Now, how we perceive it is, we talk about this all the time, our perception. So, whatever this energy is, does anybody feel like it's bad? I agree with you, Teresa. This idea of transmutating, here's the thing. If this trying to transmutate something is really takes a lot of effort. But here's the thing, if we simply ignore these cretins, you know, and we simply don't follow we don't go into fear, we don't, we stay out of that, they can't steal our energy. We don't add to theirs. Now, I'm not saying that we can't think all together and transmute. That's my point. But for those folks who are like, what the hell is transmute? And what does that mean? Well, let's just say we're just not going to fall for their stuff anymore. We're going to keep an eye on it. We got to keep an eye on the enemy, whoever the and where and the enemy is. But and we should stop using things like everything is demonic. Not necessarily. Some stuff are just bad people doing bad stuff, and it ain't got nothing to do with the demon. It's called greed. Okay. Greed. Everybody wants to be a millionaire, and we can't all be millionaires. It doesn't work out that way. So, but greed, oh, that's the devil. Okay. Well, greed is a demon. Okay. How about greed is just a sickness? It's a mental health issue where people don't care about anybody else and all it's all about money. Yeah, no fear. The looking into the future, we if we project any negative, well, it might be stop it. Next year is going to be as good as it's going to be. And if it ain't as bad as this one or the one before that, and like there are people at football games and stuff, I mean, there's participation again. The groups are celebrating life again. And a lot of people ain't gonna and won't take kindly to that again. You follow me? So if you look at the overall what's going on, I know there are folks out there who are not football fans. This year, it was just delightful for me to be for some odd reason, but I can't tell you who's got what position or whatever. But the idea, though, that people went out in droves to go to the football games, nobody worried about touching anybody or being close or nothing like. You understand what I'm saying? So there is a change already that has taken place. Just look at it. So the fear mongering, the this thing, the that thing, and all this other kind of stuff. So only people who are still locked in the fear are locked in the fear. Other folks are just going, pshaw, that we need to keep that attitude. We need to watch what's going on. We need to be careful, wash your hands, or, if we've been in somewhere where somebody was honestly sick. But if somebody gets out of their car with a mask on, you go, I don't know if I want to get close to that person simply because they got out of their car with a mask on. Not that they're sick, you know what I mean? But anyway, maybe in the head. But with that said, though, so we cannot project anything into the future because it's detrimental to all of us. Well, what if this happens? Stop it right now. Okay. But yeah, it could happen. So why don't we just talk about being prepared for what ifs? Not that what if this happened, not this could happen. What if this, okay, so well, what if there's an EMP? Well, we've heard all this stuff before. So if you're not kind of sort of half-assed prepared for all these things they've been throwing in our face up to this time, I'm not saying it may be too late for you, but then in some ways it may be too late for you to try to play catch up. Howdy, Saturnian, uh, Steve, Witch Moon, anybody miss anybody? Uh, to let it go. Yeah, we cannot push any kind of what if something can't we should not do it. I will say that. But for people, maybe I'm going to drag Teresa into this. For people like us, we can't. It's against our natures now. And I see it catching on, but a lot of people are kind of sort of feeling this way. Now, if we want, you know, 2022 to be a better year, then that's what we project. Not necessarily what we want to see, but we can all agree on one thing. What do we want in 2022? To have a good year. Well, but to everybody, it means something different. But we can all agree on one single point. What do we want next year? To have a good year, not better than another or whatever. We don't want to describe it in any way. What do we want coming up in a month? A good year for all of us, whatever that means, right? Let's have a good year. Well, does it mean that doesn't matter? We're going to have a good year because that's one single point of light we can all focus on without it being detrimental or anything. What do you wish for 2022? To have a good year, period. But project it. Now in your head, you could be thinking, well, I really want to get my car fixed and I want to finish my porch and I want to put the walls up and the windows in, which is one of my wishes, right? But sometimes when it rains or something and you don't get to do what you do, sometimes you just got to go, well, So, but for all of us, though, We honestly need to try to stay away from that negative stuff. And oh, next year. Now, I was going through the news, every day. I read the headlines. Oh, they're talking about an EMP strike again. Now, how many years have we been listening to that? Now it's in the news again. Oh, the scientists say EMP is going to come. Oh, okay. All right. I got batteries and rechargeable batteries, and I got some water stashed, and, so, well, see, Teresa, anything you put after those first four words is up to you. Have a good year is what we focus on. What comes after that is up to y'all. Okay. Well, having a good year means this to you. Okay. But those four words, have a good year, is simple and direct. It can mean, for me, it means a shitload of stuff, but I'm going to focus because that's what's important. Hey, Gaza, how are you? The focus is on a simple, single intent. We will have a good year. That's it. We will have a good year. What do you want next year? To have a good year. It's so simple and so direct. And I know it sounds silly and stupid and all that, but we don't want anybody swiping our intentions, our emotions, and with them four words, they can't steal that. You know what I'm saying? So this has been bugging me in my head for the last several days, and I got to get ready for a show later on tonight, my dear friends. And Susie, how are you? And Saturnian and all y'all. Steve, hi, I think I said Okie. Um, Here's the thing. And now, with that thought of have a good year, is a lot of positive intent. I hope people get fed. I hope people are home. I hope, so there are my own hopes and intentions are attached to those four words. But as far as my speaking to the universe, I just want to have a good year, you know? Because they can't swipe my energy from that. Well, but you meant this. Nah, I just said I want to have a good year. But you meant that. No, that's not what I said. Well, you intended this. Are you sure? There's four words. Have a good year. Period. You can't change it, can't mock it, can't do anything to it. Thank you, Teresa. Yeah. But so anyway, my dear friends, and please pass this along. Absolutely, Teresa. It's keep it simple. Absolutely. Because there's a lot of folks trying to swipe energies and words and rearrange them and say, well, this is what you meant. No. If you keep it so simple that there's like, but I cannot attack those four words. Have a good year. Well, what do you mean by that? No, you know, but so people want more. They want you to put yourself out there. Don't do it. Okay. But in your mind, you're going, well, I just, well, happiness or having a good year for somebody who's homeless might mean getting a new sleeping bag and a better cardboard box or a better location there where there's a toilet nearby or something. I mean, but to the point though, have a good year means so much, is so different to everyone. If we keep it to that simple statement, nobody can take it away from us. Our intent is pure and clear. Now, what you thinking in your head, but just leave it there and smile. Because, well, I hope peace comes, but probably not. But it's okay. But I'm still going to hope for it because there are too many other people that want war. But I'm going to pray for peace still. I mean, that's in my intentions, but I ain't going to speak it. Because then somebody goes, well, he's praying for peace. He's one of them peaceniks. He good, so then negative energy can be sent your way. But if you just say them four words, have a good year. Well, what does it mean? Whatever it means to you. But I love you. I love you all. And, so have a good year. I wish you to have a good year. That's my new. But what do you wish for? It's up to you. My wish is that you just have a good year. Which think of the wave of positive energy without being um, diffracted, like sunlight coming through this window over here. It gets diffracted. So our focus to have a good year, which does include all these other things, we just don't mention them because as soon as we mention this or that, then our intentions get fractured into different pieces of light. You know what I'm saying? So just consider that. But anyway, I love you all. It's been 35 minutes and 40 seconds. Um, Well, thank you. I'm still trying to be that, that shaman in training, and different things have been coming into me, and I'm going to try to keep some of these videos a little shorter, to just make the point. Here we go. I love you all. We can hang out at other time, but good night to you too. And for those of you who are still up, 10 o'clock tonight Eastern time, 9 o'clock Central, on Milky Way Soul Tribe with Robert B. We're going to do Native American stuff again. So, and hey, Susie Q. Yeah, me too, Teresa. Oh, by the way, the phone number I have for you is a cell number, right? Nod your head up and down. Because I now have a new cell phone. And so I can get text messages now. Not that I'm going to be burning it up, but hey, Zed, how are you? It's not a correction. Just saw it for. No, it'll be bed by then. Yeah, right. Hey, Tracy B, how are you? Good, good, good. Yeah, let's text Hawkeye. I'm not going to put it on the air or in the thingy, but those of you who may have it, okay. Yeah, I got it. I will text you. I'm trying to. Here's an honest statement. I make honest statements all the time, but since I've had, now I got to say though, I really like this device. I really do. It's handy. It's a little hard to hold on to because it's so thin, and I can be clumsy, and I have to be careful. I have to lay it in my hand when I touch something because I'm really klutzy with just touching the edge of the screen, and whatever it is disappears. But what I found out, and I've only had it less than a week now, and I've realized that there are times when I want to go pick it up. I wonder what's going on. And I go, whoa, 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 whoa. I am not going to be drawn back into this. So I was telling somebody today on the phone, I said, I leave this in the other room because if it's here, I'll go, well, I wonder what's going on. Let me see what the phone's like. And yeah, and it's like I can already tell that simply by having this dang thing, it draws me into it. And I'm, after only now the first couple of days of trying to learn it and stuff like that, but after getting down what I need, and I'm adding contacts. So rather than be on the cell phone all the time, which is hooked up to my Wi-Fi, so it's not worried about minutes or anything. And I got unlimited text and talk, so I'm not concerned about that. It's the data, right? So, but when I'm here at the house, I'm connected to the Wi-Fi. But um, I have found that it is trying to draw me into the phone. Like, here, there's something really special. Go look for this app. Or, hey, I wonder what's going on over here. And I pick up the phone and go, oh, no. And it's not, it's in the lock mode, right? And I just pick it up and I put it back over and I go, nah, you ain't. But it's been odd because it's almost like this silent calling. Okay. Now, I haven't had a cell phone for like since 2016 because I found pictures on the web that came off my old phone. Okay. So, but this idea of like, what? So the phone's on, it's not necessarily near me. I don't want it near me. But as I've been sending out messages to people like, okay, here's my set, if you get a message that says Dave's phone cell, that's me. But and because it's a 229 number, so down here in the South. But anyway, but the idea that simply by having this critter in the house, there has been this, better go check the phone. And I go, phone over, dot. But if we had heard it ring, well, what if somebody sends you a text message? Dave, we'll check it later. I'm not, but 5 days having this thing, and it's already trying to change simply by having it. It's trying to change my behavior that I must go check this thing. And I find it just intriguing. And at the same time, I guess it was Sunday. This is Tuesday, right? Sunday. I was like, where's the phone? And let me check it. And I was like, what are you doing? Because I got my computer if I want to go surf something, want to watch something or listen to YouTube or something. I got this hooked up to speakers. So why am I like rushing to do this? And I was like, it's the damn cell phone. It's trying to get in my mind. You need to pick me up. And I'm like, oh no, sorry. And now it is within a little further than arm's reach. To the black box is real. I know, but see, after not having it for so long, Travis, the fact that I simply have it, yes, it's on, but anything I want to do, I can call up people with this phone, which is a lot easier. The cell phone, I purchased it simply, when I go on the road, since my truck's having issues, if I break down, I can call somebody. But this idea that that's my 95%, reason why, and text messages. If I needed to send somebody a note like, hey, I'm alive. Like I told my friend the other day, I said, he says, well, you can take your phone down in the canoe with you and Duggar. And I'm like, maybe not. Well, I'll try, but maybe not that. But I can at least tell somebody now through a text message, me and Duggar are going on the river. So somebody in the universe knows I'm on the river. You know what I mean? Not that I'm scared or anything, and I've done it before, but as I get older, I realize it's not a panic, scared or anything. But the cell phone allows me to send someone a text or two people and go, I'm on the river. I'll let you know when I get out. So don't worry. I just wanted someone to know I'm on the river. That's all. So if I don't call back or I go missing, somebody will know I'm on the river. So, or I'm in the backyard on the swamp or something, just to say I'm there. And for me, it makes me feel more comfortable as, I have, old age and problems with my brain so, but the fact that this little device, as far as that's concerned, is a comfort to me. But I've noticed that it keeps calling at me and saying, come play with me. And I'm like, nah, sorry, I'm not going there. But I see the value in it. I really like the design and the functionality and all that. And people were like, well, if you get that, it's called Lively. Okay. It's on the back of the phone. But and to me, I did a lot of checking, and there is no monthly contract. Um, and for this phone, it's an Alcatel. People, yeah, but it's not an iPhone. Or listen, this thing does what any other Android phone will do. The camera looks good. I did a live stream last night, I guess it was, right, for a test. So I just need to learn how to use it as a tool, not as a crutch or not as an addiction. So I love you all. When I want to get away from it all, I just shut it off. Yeah, I just put it in the other room. I mean, part of what I'm doing now is that because I don't use it much, um, I'm going to leave it on. I want the battery to run all the way down. Then I'm going to send it back up on a full charge. And I'm curious as to how long if the battery will last if I only send a text or two over a couple of days. Because if I go to the woods or go off somewhere and for whatever reason might not be able to charge it, I know that the battery, if I just leave it, if it's just on with nothing going, that it'll last a couple of days, which it has. So I'm in test mode with this thing. But as a discussion about the cell phones and that, my point, my positioned on the damn things. But I also realized that people have given up their house phones. Some people don't even have a computer, and everything that they do is on one of these devices. Now, I get it. After having played with this and all this kind of stuff, I get it, okay? But at the same time, I heard it calling when the speaker wasn't on. If that voice to skull technology is there, is this thing whispering something at some frequency? I don't know. But it wanted me to pick it up so bad yesterday. And I was just like, nah. So that's just my observation, having not had one for a long time. Uh, it's been odd. Now, here's the other thing to talk about odd things. Hey, Forrest, I got some hash from, oh my God, you that you found when you were cleaning. Oh my, I found a bottle of some stuff. Oh, and that other stuff. Here's a tiny little butt of it right there. Oh my God, it's horrible. It tasted like dirt. Now that you have this phone, yeah. Well, if if I'm just out in the yard or something, I don't know if I will carry this. But if I go down in the swamp, well, a lot of times I'm down in the swamp and the phone, the phone's still up here, but I don't really plan on going to the swamp. It just calls me and Duggar. But that, because of truck issues and stuff and all this, and this particular phone, I can set it up. It's a little costly, but I can set it up to where it's like one of those I've fallen and I can't get up situations. So, and there's an emergency button down here in this corner that I'm not going to get it because I've hit that button a bunch of times by accident. And but it has the feature on this phone that if you need someone because it's sold as to help seniors, you can buy these different plans per month that if you fall and you can hit that emergency button. Okay. So I like that about the phone, and that one of these days I might need to turn that feature on. But at the moment, I just like the fact that I got the phone in a situation, if I have fallen or whatever. But anyway, so my dear friends, I put mine in a plastic Ziploc in a fishing pack. I nearly drowned when it was cold. Oh, damn it, man or girl. Oh, really, Travis? 16 days. Well, see, I'm just leaving it on, turn it on once in a while, just kind of look, check what the battery level is and put it back down. And honestly, not think about it. But an hour or two later, I'll go by and go, okay. And so the percentage I'm calibrating, clocking, right, the phone is your friend. Use the phone, touch the phone. I can fondle the phone, with a PH, fondle. Ooh, I can get real close to it and get up and personal. Oh, shut up. You know, Alexis, show me your boobs. Never mind. Uh, I'm sorry. I'm terrible. I am terrible. Is Delaney in the house? Hey, I'm fixing to get off here because I got to get ready for a show later on. But one of the things that I don't like, and I forgot where it is. I'll find it, but the screen locks every whatever, right? And I set it for 30 minutes, and I swear to God, it ain't been 30 minutes. And the thing, I gotta insert your number here, right? And I can't remember how to turn it off. I'll find it, but I was just like, son of a bitch, But anyway, um, and the other thing I don't really like about this phone, uh, but I don't have to push it in and out, is the on the side where you can't see it because it's black, but where you add the extra memory, they sent little tool. Now, God forbid, I lost my little tool. Oh crap! And at the moment, I've lost my little tool. Now there you go. See? Oh, here it is. All right. I don't know if you can see this little gizmo. See that little piece of wire there? That's the tool. There's a tiny little hole on the side of this thing. Guess what? It's about the size of a paperclip. This is, but you have to push like hell to shove the little tray out to get the memory out. Now, unless you're in and out with the memory stick thingy on your phone, your SD card thing, then it's okay. But of all the things I've found about this phone, that's my stick in the mud. This tiny little ass tool, that you have to stick in this little hole to change the SD card. Anyway, but with that said, I love you all. If you can, um, come hang out with us on Milky Way, Soul Tribe later on. I got some stories that I'm working on and haven't chosen them yet, so I got to get to work. I got to get to it. But I love you, and with that, and maybe later on, a pin works too. Yeah, I don't put my phone up to my head either. Good night, Teresa. It's good to see you. And we haven't chatted in a long time, but that's okay. I know you're busy and stuff, so uh, roadkill stew. I got a 32 gig. Yeah, I got one. It actually, when I put it in, it was only two. And I was like, I got a 16 around here somewhere. And I've got a 32 for my camera. But it was just interesting with all the new technology and everything. They send you a freaking paper clip in to go with the phone. I was like, what? All these other nice features, and just okay. Here's your little tool, all right, here's your sign. Because, see, here's the thing, the really ironic thing, if you will, the cell phone is designed for older people in mind. Now, here's this thing. So it's got an emergency button in case you fall and can't get up. But if you want to get your little SD chip out of there to download them to something else, you have to fumble. Old people have to fumble with this tiny little tool. Find that little, oh, there it kind of shines in the dark there. Find the tiny little hole and push it. Okay. I mean, I'm just saying, the cell phones for elderly people. So what's this freaking tool doing? I'm just saying they make them where you push it in and there is spring loaded and it pops out. What happened to that? I know it's a different kind of, but this is for older people. I can barely grab this thing. If it's laying on the table, I gotta like get a magnet. But for old, okay, I'm on my little tirade. But you see what I mean? So they sell this stuff and then they send you this little paper clip. Anyway, I love you all. Please be safe. Um, Good night, everyone. Yeah, be blessed. Stay blessed. And remember, if you've got this come, I'm gonna repeat it to wrap this up. But um, let's keep our prayer simple. Have a great year. Have a good year. Okay, we could change it to let's have a super duper great year. But leave all the other stuff out because they can't steal our thoughts that way. I have a harness where, yeah. A friend of mine said that next time we see each other, she's got one that she was going to like throw away and bought one and didn't like it. And I was like, well, we'll see. Now, I saw this guy in a store the other day and he had this, quite frankly, it looked like a large, for those of us guitar players and harmonica players, those wire gizmos that go around your neck that hold a harmonica. It looked kind of like that, but a little farther away from the head. I was watching it, and I was like, "Excuse me, is that for your cell phone?" And he was like, "Well, yeah." So it's hands free, and it's about you know the right distance away from your face. And he was watching a movie or something, standing there in the store and had an earplug in, And I was like, "Well, okie doke." I never thought about going to the store and watching a movie, but all right, to each his own. I mean, I just can't at the moment fathom watching a movie on this thing. Listening to a story or something, absolutely. But like trying to watch something, now it's got a nice screen, but it's still for me, it's like I want to feel the movie. I want to see it kind of sort of on the big screen, but this tiny little one, I'm just like, nah. But I know that there are folks that this is their main source of, information and stuff. So I understand. I get it. I won't be so hard on y'all. But if they're still not turning the damn thing off, okay, then they are quite frankly, yeah, it's sort of like a selfie stick on a strap. Yeah, that's what this guy had on yesterday, Teresa, or Sunday when I went to the store. But anyway, so let me get out of here. Um, I'm going to do a 20 earlier, even though it's only seven something. So it's 20 if you got them, and I'm going to take one with me to celebrate. Now, in thinking about this, for every 20 that we have, for those of us who need an excuse to light one up, right? I thought about this and they kind of brought it back around. They go, for every time we smoke a bowl or take a take a hit, the sacred pipe of Native Americans or Native folks, the sacred pipe, the prayers are offered up with the smoke. So the other night, and I kind of sort of said something at one of my 4 o'clock in the morning stone moments, but they brought it back around to me and said, listen, for every time we light, for every time that we group partake, and it's a few minutes off with each of us, but if we send good intent, if we sent a prayer with the smoke, because we're all doing it and it's all kind of sort of together. So we're sharing this over the universe, right? Different time zones, but at the same time, you see. So, but if we all light up at the same time, then if we just all just stuck with, like, for example, coming up, when I light this, I'm going to think my prayer with this smoke is we all have a good year. Ooh, that was a good one. Yeah, I got it. I got an old phone with a memory card that's like 500 megabytes. Yeah. Yeah. Well, oh, I get that. I was telling a friend today who agreed they're not computer literate, but I was like, whether you're literate or not, I'm like, the first computer I had was like $1,300, huge thing, an Acer, by the way. Um, and oh my God, it had 30 megabytes of hard drive space. 30 megabytes, not gigabytes, not trigabytes, but 30. I mean, you know, 30 megabyte. We've got, there are some folks who take high volume pictures and stuff that would damn near take up 30 megabyte, but but we've come a long way, baby. Um, and many, 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 many years ago, because I've had several hard drives go bad and I've lost data, some really good data and pictures and stuff. And oh, well, it's gone. And I mean, 25, 30, no, it's been more like 35 or 40 years ago when I was in school, like in 87, 88, 89. I graduated in 89 from tech school. And I was like, one of these days, they're going to make memory that is just going to be static. In other words, it's not going to move. Okay. One of these days, we're going to be able to just plug something in and it won't turn, it won't move. We won't have to worry about the damn thing breaking down, the motor or something like that physically, right? And after all these years, I was like, thank God somebody heard my suggestion to the universe, like, please, Jesus, make something that make memory sticks, and now I've got this little tiny one, that's 32 gigabyte. It would have taken a whole classroom of computers to even come close to 1 gig. It's just so amazing. But anyway, I love you all. Be safe. And if you're still around, come out and listen to Milky Way Soul Tribe. I love you all. Cheers. I do continue to pray that each and every day, that each and every one of you, and Duggar goes out and prays with me, that each and every one of you will continue to learn how to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the many blessings in the universe. When you accept this simple, single thing and have faith, I'm sort of an addendum to my topic for this hour. It's been just an hour. Um, that religion, Jesus, Buddha, or whoever, if you bring Jesus into your heart, then you will never feel lonely. Okay. But the thing is that Jesus or whomever is part of the universe, like we are. And that just to believe in him, to believe in him means that you believe in the universe. You believe in larger, bigger things. So don't just get stuck on one tiny little piece. There's the universe is all around us. We're swimming in it. So each and every day that me and Duggar go out and look up at the sky, rain or shine, we continue to pray that each and every day that each and every one of you will continue to learn to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, and the many blessings from the universe. And in that law of three, which comes really true for me, that I continue to pray that each and every day, that each and every one of you will continue to learn to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the many blessings from the universe. And as an addendum to this, our thoughts for this coming year, without worrying about anything. Remember, we got to keep an eye on these buggers. But that have a good year. A simple, positive thought with our prayers when we smoke, when we're walking through whatever. You know, I don't care what shows up, but this coming year, we're just going to hope it's a good year. It's going to be a good year. Yeah, but don't care about what is. But if we keep walking, then it it could be it could turn out to be shitty, okay? But I just ain't going to worry about it. And we're just going to do the best that each of us can. And whatever comes at us, we're going to learn to adapt. My friend did that. They had an accident and something, and sometimes you just have to adapt. A dear friend of mine called me on the phone yesterday, and I was busy doing something, and called him back, and I was like, "So, Mr. Randy, how you doing?" He goes, "Well, right at the moment, I'm in intensive care in the hospital, and they fixing to operate on me in an hour or so. But I'm okay." What? I mean, that's the true story. It happened yesterday. So it's like all day today, I've been like, hope Mr. Randy's okay. I'm not dwelling on it, but hope Mr. Randy's okay. Hope whatever it was, he's okay. I was tempted to call him earlier, and I was like, if he was in intensive care yesterday, maybe I should give it a day or two. But um, but anyway, so stuff happens, and sometimes we can't plan it. We don't know it. We can blame it on God, but it just might be circumstances. You know, because stuff happens in the universe. The weird energies that we're all feeling, um, just don't get freaked out about them. Just sit down and be quiet for a moment and don't get freaked out. Oh, well, it feels different. Okay, just don't become overwhelmed, but I feel different. Okay, all right. So, whatever is going on, the first thing we need to do is to find a calm spot. Do tape, I have, oh, terabytes. Yeah. Well, I've got a half a terabyte, 500 gig or whatever, right? And it ain't nowhere near full. And I've had it for years, but it's one of them flat uh, um, plug into your USB drive thing. And, if I don't do anything bad to it, will it still work in a couple more years, or should I buy an upgraded one and put what's on it? I still got a half a 300 gig I could still put on it, but or should I just get another one and back up what's on it to the newer one, just in case the you know stuff once might get 1630 gig, not so much storage, but a lot of memories on them. Yeah, you're welcome, Steve. It's good to see everybody in here. All right. So, as you deal with memory sticks, make sure that you keep a log, and make sure that you like number them or something. And make sure that if you want to save something, you move that little thing on the side that keeps you from writing over the card. Okay. Anyway, my 10 cents. I'll see you all in the funny papers. I love you. Be safe. Duggar says hi. And, um, can you believe I'm keeping this to an hour and 5 minutes? Something must be wrong, right? I love you. See you later. See you in the funny papers. Until next time, cheers. TTFN from South Georgia. Ween! And we love you, Bob, for all that you do. Till next time. Bye, everybody. Oops, wrong. But hey, Ed, I'm fixing to go. I might be back later, but right now I got to go to get ready for another show. See you all. Love you. Bye.